Lisa, you saying to me, I, for one, would love to be at Prince Andrew's deposition. Is it that deposition that perhaps has led to this settlement? The Prince did not want to be in front of a camera.
Well, that's right. And thank you for having me. So, Virginia won all of the early motions in the case, which means the judge said that her case would go forward, even though Prince Andrew's attorneys tried to get it thrown out on numerous grounds. The judge wasn't having it. I think that was very significant. And yes, next up would have been Prince Andrew's deposition, Virginia's deposition. My client, Shukri Walker, was going to be deposed. She is a witness who said she saw the two of them together at the Tramp nightclub in 2001. And we were working toward those depositions. So I think it was made clear to Prince Andrew this case was going forward. It was not going to be pleasant. And he had to get very serious about resolving it. And that's what's happened now.
There's no admission of guilt here at all, is there, in this settlement? So what do you think has prompted Miss Giuffre to settle now? What do you think the key parts of that statement were for her?
You're right. There is no admission of guilt. I think every word was carefully negotiated. I have negotiated many statements like this in high profile sexual assault cases, and the attorneys go back and forth and take out words and get it just the way that they want it. I'm not impressed with Prince Andrew's statement that, Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused many girls. I mean, is there anybody who doesn't know that? He's going to stand with sexual abuse victims now. Well, I mean, again, I think that's a pretty popular, non-controversial position.
Isn't the other thing I thought about this? Well, wasn't part of? Do you remember we had those key points that were supposed to form part of his defence last time we spoke? And what wasn't one of them that he hadn't met her, but if he had, then he couldn't be culpable because of previous things that she'd done.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because in this statement today, he says something like, he never intended to malign her character. But that's exactly what he authorized his attorneys to do in filing their formal answer, where they asserted the defense of unclean hands, which means that she did bad things and that should preclude her from recovering, even if he did the bad things that she was accusing him of. So I found that to be very disturbing that they asserted that defense. They indicated they were going to come out guns blazing against her. They were going to try to dig up dirt on her. And that would not have gone well for him in the court of public opinion. And it was also very difficult for her, I'm sure. She's a human being. She's incredibly brave. She stood up against Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and now Prince Andrew. But there is a limit to how much one human being can do. And I think she wants to focus on her charity. I'm sure she's getting a hefty contribution to her charity.
Let me ask you one more before I let you answer that other call. We don't know because it's a sealed agreement, isn't it? But you've got a vast experience in this type of case. The Daily Telegraph here in this country reporting that the settlement might be north of $10 million. What do you think of that amount of money? Is that in the right ballpark for you?
That's about what I would expect, yes. I don't think that she would walk away for anything less. And I think that money will go a long way to help victims who are not in high profile cases, who we don't talk about on a daily basis. I represent dozens of them right now, and they need help. They need help with legal expenses and medical and therapy. So that's a very positive development if it's multi-million of dollars, which I think it probably is.